Hi, if you're thinking about moving to Bluffton, South Carolina, don't until you watch this video. I'm going to talk candidly about the area and give you some things to think about. I will save what I consider to be the most important point for last. So let's get started. First of all, if you're looking at buying a single family home, you should expect to pay starting at $300,000. And honestly, I'm seeing many buyers spending, $500,000 to $800,000 to get what they want, and of course, it can go up from there. If you're looking for a two-bed condo, I would say a good price range is going to be 170 to 250, and that should put you in the ballpark right now. Houses here do not have basements because of the low water table. It's a problem. So keep that in mind for storage, etc. There are a lot of gated communities here. Each of those communities has its own character, and a lot of the housing options will be determined by that particular neighborhood. And surprisingly enough, and it could be in a retirement community, two-story homes are more popular than I've ever seen them. If you're looking for an old historic home, you're probably not going to find one here. Back in the Civil War, they actually just burned everything to the ground. And if you are going to find something, it's going to be very expensive. The next thing I want to do is talk about schools. What I will say is Bluffton High School is ranked in the top 11% in the nation, and May River High School in Bluffton is in the top 16% in the nation. So I think that they have some excellent school opportunities in the public schools. And if you don't like that, there are private schools as well. Now let's talk weather. It's hot and humid here, but what I will say, I've heard that the humidity is very good for your skin. And actually, I'm 110, just kidding. With the mild winters, we do have an issue with bugs. I mean, they're just not going to die. We have palmetto bugs here, which are roaches. If your bug is named after the state you live in, that pretty much says they have a few bugs here. If you have what they call sweet blood, you're not going to want to go outside probably without putting on something to protect yourself. Now let's talk about hurricanes. Rightfully so, people are worried about hurricanes. But here's the good news. You have plenty of time. If a storm is coming, you can get out of Dodge and be safe. You have insurance, and that's what it's for. Now, politically in my house, my wife likes to leave early, and I like to wait till the end. Now, leaving early is smart, but I think waiting till the last minute is smarter because most of the times the storms actually don't follow the projected path completely, and they're likely to miss you, and you don't have to go anywhere. But, typically we think of it as a little mini vacation anyway. One caveat I would say, if you have animals and you don't have a place to stay like we do, you're in a hotel, in that case, it would make sense to leave early because you don't want to be stuck without a place. Next thing I want to talk about are flood areas. Bluffton is named Bluffton because it's on a bluff. Not that it's a mountain, but we'll say 18 feet above sea level. Thankfully, most of the properties around here are located in what you call C zone or X zone, which are FEMA zones that do not require flood insurance with a mortgage. Nightlife here, there really isn't much. They roll the streets up early. If you're looking to go out and maybe have a little bit more fun, I would suggest probably Savannah. Lack of walkability is a problem. I don't, not to say that there aren't sidewalks and things to walk to see downtown Bluffton. There are, but there's just not a lot. And also public transportation. There really is very little. So if that's something that's important to you, it's going to be an issue. If you're a big pro football person, you're going to have to drive if you want to go to a game. Closest place would be Jacksonville. And then, if you're looking to Charlotte or Atlanta, in the South anyway, college football rules. Typically here, you're either a Clemson fan or a USC fan. My wife is a Gamecock, and by marriage, I am a Gamecock supporter. Traffic. I honestly don't think the traffic's very bad, but I know people that complain about it. And what I would say is typically your worst traffic is going to be on Saturday, where out of town guests are going on to Hilton Head Island for their timeshares. I live in the town of Bluffton, and I'm as far out as you can possibly be and still be in the town. If I catch all the lights taking the parkway, I can get to the foot of the Hilton Head Bridge in 23 minutes. So let's talk for a second about commutes. If you have a hankering for the big city, Atlanta's 4 hours by car. Charlotte, the same, 4 hours. Jacksonville is about 2.5 hours. Charleston is about 2.25 hours. And Savannah is 30 to 45 minutes, depending on where you go. Let's talk about crime for a second. Violent crime. 1 in 1,000 residents is going to be a victim of a violent crime, compared to 4.5 in South Carolina, and the median national number is 4. Looking at property crime, that roughly 8 in 1,000, and in South Carolina 27.7, and 19 is the national median number. So overall, the crime here is very low. Getting to my most important part, or my most important point, do you need a job? Even, for example, nurses, if you're moving here from Ohio or you're moving in from New York, you are not going to make the same money that you are making up there. Employers know that people want to move here, so they just don't pay as much because they don't have to. But most of the jobs around here, they're either construction related, retail, food and beverage, hotel, that sort of thing. If you're in Bluffton, you're close to Savannah and you're close to Hilton Head and Beaufort, so it's a reasonable commute for most people. So if you needed to branch out a little bit versus, let's say, if you're going to be on the island. I absolutely love the beauty of the Low Country. I mean, to me, it's breathtaking seeing the rivers, the tidal marshes, the indigenous or just regular palm trees that have been planted here. I just think they're beautiful. And, of course, we have the Atlantic Ocean, 15 or 20 minutes on average from most places in Bluffton. It's incredible. I don't go enough. My wife's smart enough to go on a more regular basis. I get working, and every time I go, I remind myself that I really need to go because it's so special. I appreciate you taking the time to watch this video. I hope it's helpful, and please contact me with any additional questions. Thanks.